And now I'm going to teach you how to manipulate data. How to manipulate data. You must not be comfortable with only what you have got, but you have to manipulate it to get some more data. Some more data. We call that one data manipulation. And data manipulation has rules. Let's look at the rules of data manipulation. Rules of data manipulation. There is a rule that will govern us when we are adding. There is a rule that will govern us when we are subtracting. There is a rule that will govern us when we are dividing. And there is a rule that will govern us when we are multiplying. What is important is that multiplication and addition are similar. Adding and subtraction are similar. We consider decimal places. And the rule is that when you are adding two or more values, the answer should be to the least decimal place. The same thing with the subtraction. Let us see here. I'm adding 8.5 to 1.5. This is to two decimal places. This is to one decimal place. My answer will have to be to one decimal place. When I press on the calculator, 8.25 plus 1.5, what I'm getting is 9.75. But I have to round this one decimal place. Rounding off was the same thing here. This is to 2 dps plus a value which is to 3 dps, decimal places. The answer will be to 2 decimal places. When you add here, let me see, 0.84 plus 1.162. What I'm getting is very many decimal places. Actually, there are 3 decimal places. But because this one has 2 and this one 3, the least is 2. 2 is smaller than 3. So my answer will be to 2 decimal places. Because of 2 and 3, 2 is smaller. 2 is less than 3, so my answer will be to the least. I round this one off 2 decimal places. This one 0.5 doesn't increase this one. It just remains like this. But if this one maybe was 5, then this one will become 1. Then even this one decimal place plus 2, the answer will be 1 decimal place. Actually, not plus, this is subtraction. This is subtraction, but still the same thing. We take the least decimal places. So 1 decimal place minus figure with the 2 decimal places. I will round off my answer to 1 decimal place. My calculator will give me an answer to 2 decimal places, but we'll have to round off 1 decimal place. Even here, 3 decimal places minus 2 decimal places. My answer has to be to 2 decimal places. Yes. Here, now this is the fifth example. When you look at this one, it involves subtraction and addition, but the rule remains the same. Go to your calculator, you write 10.5 minus 8.25 plus 2.055. What you get will be 1.305. But when you observe these 3, this one has 1 decimal place, this one has 2, this one has 3. The least is 1. So you answer with 1 decimal place. So you have to round this one off 1 decimal place. Then adding and subtracting. Let us see what we do. What do we do when we are multiplying or adding or dividing? Can be multiplication or division. Multiplying or dividing. Now here we shall talk about significant figures, not decimal places. We talked about decimal places in adding and subtraction. Addition and subtraction, we talk about decimal places. But multiplication and division, we talk about significant figures. So here you have to be fit in significant figures. Values are multiplied and multiplied. Or divided. The answer must take the least. The answer The answer must take the least significant figures. In other words, when you have to manipulate data, if you are to learn how to manipulate data, you should be good in the rules of significant figures. You should be good in significant figures. So, you shall see that when I multiply a figure which has two significant figures by a figure which has three significant figures, my answer will be to two significant figures because 2 is less than 3. Let me see. Some examples are here. Let us multiply 2.25 by 1.755. By the way, if they are the same number of significant figures, of course, if there are 2, that's will be to 2. The same thing with addition. The same thing with the addition. If this was 3 decimal places, if this one 3 decimal places, and this one 3 decimal places, our answer will be to 3 decimal places. Because 3 and 3, the least is at the same time the biggest. So there's no problem with that. Answer will be to 3. This one is, if this is to 2 significant figures, now we are talking about significant figures. Let us see, this one has 3 significant figures. This one has 3 significant figures. What about this one? This one has 4 significant figures. Our answer has to be to 3 significant figures. Let me see. My answer will be 3.95. That figure has 3 significant figures. Let me look at. Let me see if maybe I'm dividing 7.50 over 2.5. Division, we also talk about significant figures. Remember, these are 3 significant figures. This one has 2 significant figures. Now, my answer will be to 2 significant figures because it is the least. So I use my calculator. Let me see. I have 7.50. If I put that, it will be okay. 7.50 over 2.5. What I have in my calculator is exactly 3.0. That is now to 2 significant figures. We have looked at 2 examples involving how you can manipulate data with the division and multiplication. And you have these 2 examples on board here, and we are still using the same rule. This one has 3 significant figures, this one has 2. Our answer will be to 2 significant figures. Let me see. All with the calculator. 5.21 times 4.5. My answer is 23.445. This figure has very significant figures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But me, I want to do 2. The first 2 are these ones. When I look at this, if it is a 5 and above, I will solve by 1. But it's less than 5. So I just stop there. My answer will be 23. The answer. I can first one is this value. Let me first consider up for division, then I consider down. I consider the answer I will get here, I will divide it by this. Or I can just get it directly from my calculator. No problem. What I prefer, let me first get the answer for this. 3.25 times 1.5. What I'm having is 4.875. This one has 4 significant figures, but me, I want 2 significant figures. I want 2 significant figures. So I'll first look at the first 2 significant figures. The first 2 significant figures are these ones. And I'll look at this one. since it is above. Yes, since it is greater than 4 from 5 and above. From 5 and above, it is 7. So I increase one by 1. It has been 8, it becomes 9. 4.9. So the numerator is 4.9 divided by 0.055. Now I consider these are two significant figures. Even these are two significant figures. Those are two significant figures. From the rules of significant figures, this is 2, this is 2. So 4.9 over 0.055. What I'm getting is 89.09. But this is two significant figures, and this one is two significant figures. So my interest is in two significant figures. And when I look at this one, I can't increase this one. I cannot increase that one. So it remains 89. My answer is 89.